You noticed it in the shower first. More hair in the drain than usual. Then on your pillow, then wrapped around the brush in quantities that made you stop and stare. You told yourself it was seasonal. You told yourself it was stress. You bought biotin. You switched shampoos. And the hair kept falling. But here is something you probably have not done yet. Look at your nails. Really look at them. Are they thinner than they used to be? Do they break or peel more easily? Do they have vertical ridges running from the base to the tip? If the answer is yes, then your hair loss and your nail changes are not two separate problems. They are the same problem showing up in two different places. And the cause is something that a bottle of biotin will never fix. Hair and nails share a deep biological connection that most people never think about. Both are made primarily of a protein called keratin, and both depend on the same pool of nutrients, hormones, and cellular signals to grow properly. When the body is running low on certain critical raw materials, or when the hormonal environment shifts in a way that disrupts how those materials are delivered, both hair and nails deteriorate at the same time. The nails often show the damage first because they grow faster than hair, and their changes are easier to spot. Vertical ridges, brittleness, splitting, peeling, slow growth, or thinning nail plate are all early signals that the body is struggling with something deeper than a cosmetic issue. They are essentially an early warning system that most women ignore because they assume nail problems are about hand washing or aging. The most common underlying driver of simultaneous hair and nail deterioration in women after 43 is a mineral deficiency that rarely gets tested in standard blood work: ferritin. Ferritin is not the same as iron. Iron is a mineral. Ferritin is the protein that stores iron inside cells and releases it when the body needs it. A woman can have iron levels that appear normal on a blood panel and still have critically low ferritin, which means her body has almost no iron reserves to draw from. This matters enormously for hair, because the hair follicle is one of the most metabolically active structures in the body. It requires a constant supply of iron-rich blood to fuel the rapid cell division that produces a growing hair strand. When ferritin drops below a certain threshold, typically around 30 to 40 nanograms per milliliter, the body begins quietly triaging its resources. It diverts iron away from non-essential functions like hair growth and nail strength, and redirects it toward essential ones like oxygen transport and muscle function. The hair does not fall out because the follicle is damaged. It falls out because the follicle has been deprioritized. After 43, ferritin depletion accelerates for several reasons that converge at once. Estrogen fluctuations can cause heavier or more irregular periods, which increases monthly iron loss through menstrual blood. At the same time, gut absorption of iron often decreases due to changes in stomach acid production and shifts in the intestinal microbiome. Many women in this age range also gravitate toward lighter, plant-based diets that are lower in the form of iron the body absorbs most efficiently, which is heme-iron from animal sources. The non-heme iron found in spinach, lentils, and fortified cereals has an absorption rate of only 2 to 5% compared to 15 to 25% for heme iron. So a woman who has been eating healthy for years may actually be starving her follicles of the one mineral they need most. But ferritin is not the only piece of the puzzle. There is a second player that connects hair loss and nail fragility after 43, and it is rarely discussed outside of endocrinology clinics: thyroid function. The thyroid gland, a small butterfly-shaped organ at the base of the throat, regulates the metabolic rate of virtually every cell in the body, including the cells that produce hair and nails. When thyroid function slows down, even subtly, cell turnover decreases throughout the body. Hair grows more slowly, enters the resting phase sooner, and sheds prematurely. Nails grow more slowly and become brittle. Skin becomes drier. Energy drops. Weight creeps up. These are all manifestations of the same underlying slowdown. The problem is that standard thyroid testing often misses the early stages of this decline. Most doctors test TSH, thyroid-stimulating hormone, and sometimes total T4. If those numbers fall within the reference range, the thyroid is declared normal. But TSH can remain in the normal range, while free T3, the active thyroid hormone that cells actually use, is already declining. And reverse T3, a molecule that blocks T3 from entering cells, can be rising without anyone checking for it. A woman can have textbook normal TSH and still be functionally hypothyroid at the cellular level. If you have been told your thyroid is fine, but you're losing hair, your nails are breaking, your skin is dry, and you are gaining weight despite eating less, the standard panel may not be telling the whole story. Requesting a complete thyroid panel that includes free T3, reverse T3, and thyroid antibodies gives a far more accurate picture of what is actually happening at the cellular level. Many women discover that what felt like unexplained aging was actually a subclinical thyroid issue that had been missed for years because the screening test was too narrow. There is a third connection worth understanding, and this one ties directly to the hormonal transition itself. Estrogen supports hair growth by extending the growth phase of the hair cycle, called anagen. When estrogen levels are stable and healthy, hair stays in the growth phase longer, which is why many women experience thicker hair during pregnancy when estrogen is at its peak. After 43, as estrogen begins to fluctuate and decline, the growth phase shortens. More follicles enter the resting phase, called telogen, at the same time. This creates the pattern known as diffuse thinning, where hair does not recede at the hairline like male pattern baldness, but thins evenly across the top of the head, particularly along the part line. The ponytail gets thinner. The scalp becomes more visible under certain lighting. This type of hair loss is hormonally driven and will not respond to topical treatments or vitamins alone. So what actually works? The approach needs to address all three layers: nutritional deficiency, thyroid function, and hormonal support. If you have not had your ferritin tested, request it specifically at your next blood draw. Do not accept your iron is fine without seeing the ferritin number. The optimal range for hair growth is between 70 and 100 nanograms per milliliter, which is well above the lower end of the lab reference range that many doctors consider acceptable. If your ferritin is below 50, supplementing with iron bisglycinate at 25 to 30 milligrams taken on an empty stomach with vitamin C to enhance absorption is the most gentle and effective approach. Iron bisglycinate is significantly less likely to cause the stomach upset and constipation associated with other iron forms. Expect 3 to 4 months of consistent supplementation before seeing visible changes in hair, because the follicles need time to rebuild their reserves and restart active growth. During this period, you may notice improvements in energy and reduce fatigue before you see changes in hair density, because the body restores iron to its most critical functions first and redirects to hair growth only after those needs are met. A common mistake is stopping iron supplementation as soon as energy improves, assuming the problem is solved. The hair follicles are the last to benefit and the first to lose access when reserves dip again. Consistent supplementation for the full duration, ideally with periodic retesting of ferritin every 3 months, ensures the gains are not lost. Beyond iron, there is another mineral that connects directly to both hair and nail health, and that most women over 43 are quietly deficient in: zinc. Zinc is required for the cell division that drives both hair and nail growth, and it plays a role in the enzyme that converts thyroid hormone T4 into its active form, T3. Low zinc means slower cell turnover in the follicle, weaker nail structure, and reduced thyroid conversion. Supplementing with 15 to 25 milligrams of zinc bisglycinate daily, taken with food to avoid nausea, addresses both the structural and thyroid components simultaneously. For thyroid support, ask for a full thyroid panel that includes TSH, free T4, free T3, reverse T3, and thyroid antibodies. If free T3 is in the lower third of the reference range or reverse T3 is elevated, even with a normal TSH, there may be room for intervention. Selenium, at 200 micrograms daily, supports the enzyme that converts T4 into active T3. Zinc, at 15 to 25 milligrams daily, is also required for this conversion. Both minerals are commonly depleted in women over 43, and both are easy to supplement safely. For the hormonal component, supporting the body's own estrogen metabolism can help slow the transition-related hair loss. Ground flaxseed, 2 tablespoons daily, added to a smoothie or mixed into yogurt, provides lignans that have a mild estrogen-modulating effect. They do not add estrogen to the body, but help balance the ratio between protective and problematic estrogen metabolites. Omega-3 fatty acids from fish oil at 2 grams of combined EPA and DHA daily reduce the scalp inflammation that can accelerate follicular miniaturization and support the cell membrane health of hair and nail tissue. Externally, gentle scalp massage for 3 to 5 minutes daily has been shown in research to increase blood flow to the follicles and may improve hair density over time. The key is consistency, not pressure. Use your fingertips, not your nails, and move the scalp itself, rather than sliding across the surface. You can do this dry or with a few drops of rosemary essential oil diluted in a carrier oil. Rosemary oil has been compared to minoxidil in a clinical trial and showed comparable results in hair density after 6 months, without the side effects. 2 to 3 drops mixed into a tablespoon of jojoba or coconut oil, massaged into the scalp and left for at least 30 minutes before washing, provides both the mechanical stimulation and the topical benefit. Your nails told the story before your hair did. They were the first signal that something deeper was shifting inside your body. A shift in minerals, in thyroid output, in the hormones that govern how your cells grow and repair. Most women never connect the two. Now you can. And the place to start is not a new shampoo or a thicker nail polish. It is a blood test that asks the right questions and a protocol that feeds your body the raw materials it has been missing. The answers were never far away.